We have signs for parking here, so hopefully that'll be a good thing. Well, this parking lot for the bridge is full, so I'll have to find another place to park in Nyack. Well, I spoke too soon. We did get a space, so here's some of the rules for going over the bike path. It's for bikes and pedestrians. Alright, here's the start of the Tappan bike path, or the Mario Cuomo Bridge bike path. And parking lot's full, temperature's not so bad, and we'll get started. It's July 4th, 2020, and we have to wear face masks. Alright, here we go. Let's see if the whole bike path is blue. That's 287 running right next to us. We're headed east from Nyack, New York, over to Tarrytown, New York, in Westchester County. We're in Rockland County right now. This is brand new. It's only 3 weeks old that it's been open to the public. I first noticed it when I was driving across the bridge on Father's Day weekend in the middle of June, and I was wondering whether there was ever going to be a bike path or a walkway across the bridge, because I know they had talked about it. And it turned out that was the first weekend that it was open, and it was just mobbed. There was a huge crowds. I couldn't help but notice, and I go, wow, I got to come back and see this for myself. So you can see already that there's a fair amount of bicyclists and walkers, so it's an instant hit. People like to go across the Hudson, various points. It's 3.5 miles across. You can see the Westchester side of the river over there. It doesn't seem like it's that far, but that's what they say it is, so. Take them at their word. It's free, I'll say that. To go across the bridge in a car, right now it's $5. A little less if you have Easy Pass, but that's through this year, 2020. The bridge has been open for a couple of years now. And there was talk earlier on that they were going to raise the bridge tolls a lot, up to what they charge in the New York City bridges, which is like $11, $12, $13, $14. The best time of the day to ride the bike. It's in the morning, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's supposed to get hot later. and then stay hot for at least the next couple of weeks. And they're also predicting the chance of thunderstorms the next couple of days. Now here's the first overlook spot. There's 6 such spots I read. And they call them, a nice French name, they call them belvederes. So it's a place to look out over the river. You can see the river is very wide at this point, this is as wide as it gets. Everybody's wearing their face mask pretty much, and so am I. So I have to hold the camera a little closer to me because I know I'm a little muffled, but that's just the way of it in 2020. One concern of the bridge builders, designers, is that in the past, unfortunately, the Tappan is another bridge like the George Washington, where people who are acutely depressed have come to jump off the bridge. So you see the design of this fencing is to try to deter people from trying to do that. One thing I've noticed at the George Washington Bridge is, at least in the past, is they would station an FDNY boat near the base of the river. In case anybody did try to jump, they'd try to save them then. I don't know if that's the case up here, but it's kind of a sad thing to talk about. It's the second Belvedere. It's pretty level. It's a slight incline. It's not a tall bridge, but tall enough for any ocean type freighter ships to come up the river. Some do. As you can see right now, there's no boats on the river, but it is a holiday, national holiday. It's a good thing to do on the 4th of July, something like this. You're out, but you're still doing something where you can be socially distant from other people, as opposed to being at a parade. This bridge cost about $4 billion, which is actually pretty cheap these days for a bridge this length. I had a design competition, and this bridge was the cheapest and the fastest to build. And I heard once that it was a close design relative to a bridge in Russia. So when I've gone over the bridge, I've always thought of it as the Russian bridge. I don't know if it's a carbon copy, but supposedly it's very similar. But they did a good job building it. At one time there were just tons of cranes on barges in the river to build the bridge and lift huge precast sections onto the bridge, and to drill piles in the river to support the structure. Here's the third Belvedere. They're all a little different, which is nice. It's like a huge picture frame. Now we're entering Westchester. This isn't like the George Washington Bridge where you leave one state and wind up at another. Here it's you go from one county in New York State to another. So this isn't the Golden Gate Bridge by any stretch. But it replaced an older steel bridge that was heavily rusted and deteriorating, and it cost a lot to maintain. That bridge was, the old bridge was designed to last 50 years, and I read that this is supposed to last 100 years. That's Tarrytown, New York, coming into view on the east bank of the Hudson. It's a cute town. It has one of its features is riverside dining, and also it has a nice performing arts theater, an old one, and it's beautiful inside. Alright, coming up on the fourth overlook point. Again, well done. Now we're coming up on the first of the towers. It's a common bridge design these days. The cable stayed type. It used to be quite dramatic when you'd see one of these because they were rare. But now they're quite common. You might hear the wind, it's picking up. Cuomo, former governor, father of the current governor, Andrew Cuomo. Who requested that the bridge be renamed in honor of his late father. Names of bridges and things, they die hard. People still refer to this as the Tappan Bridge. We'll see if the Cuomo Bridge catches on, really. That's its official name now. But what people call it in actuality might stay Tappan Z, at least for a while. Another look at Tarrytown. Now we're going down the slope, and it's getting a little windier. The fifth Belvedere. This trip is actually going very quickly, but like for a bicyclist, 3.5 miles is nothing. I've already seen groups of bike riders out this morning in groups and pelotons. And they'll go 50 to 100 miles. So 3.5 miles is just like a walk down to the corner store for them. All right, and then here's the last overlook area. I think we'll stop and turn around. So I hope you enjoyed this tour, quick tour of the Tappan Z, the new bikeway, very popular. And we'll see you in the next video. See ya. Just a beautiful view of the river looking upstream to the north. See a little lighthouse there, all by its lonesome. And as you look to the right, these are like new, fairly new, maybe 1 or 2 decades old townhouse type developments that they have built out on. The site used to be a former General Motors automotive plant where they made, the last thing they made there were SUVs and minivans. And then they closed that up, so a lot of manufacturing jobs were lost, but slowly being reclaimed and reused for residential. And those are the end of the Palisades of New Jersey up there on the left. Just a neat design. It looks like his little mini lights that will light up at night, which also be a good look. Let's just zoom in on Tarrytown here at the eastern end of the bridge. And one thing in particular, you don't have to have a car to get here from the city. You can take the train, the Metro North. Here's the Metro North train station. So that's a pretty short walk over here to the bridge if you want to get out of the city and come up. Oh! Let's just take one more look at the bridge going back west. It looks slightly more dramatic this way, maybe, I don't know. I'm just seeing it with the sun behind us reflecting off the cables. It gives you a whole different feel or energy to the bridge. The sun is coming out. It was cloudy before. The clouds are starting to dissipate. It'll be totally clear this afternoon. So it's a beautiful 4th of July weekend here in northern suburban New York City. And we'll take a look at, that's Nyack, New York. It's like Tarrytown. It's a nice small town, interesting architecture, good restaurants, fun, historical. Definitely recommend both towns, Tarrytown and Nyack. As well as there's a cute little town just to the south of the bridge here, Piermont. Also has live music and restaurants. And it's very steep to get down to the river, but it's another highlight of this area of the Hudson Valley. All right, thanks for joining me. See you next time.